I understand that not everybody likes roundabouts, so I'm not a super fan. It's what we're moving forward with, sorry.
Other questions from council, from Port Commissioner, staff?
Well, if you could explain to me one more time, you did it once, what the advantages of the roundabout or the underpasses of both Union and Second Street?
Sure. I think the biggest issue I heard was folks at 6th and 3rd have to come all the way up here, to come underneath, to go up to the port and to the rest of the port properties. And I think eventually part of the lumber mill will be developed someday in some fashion. They have to come all the way up here and go all the way back. And that's one, for a car isn't a huge issue. A little bit more, quite a bit more congestion, and this has to be a lot bigger. This undercrossing here has to be probably 6 lanes across, again, 2 through lanes each direction, double left turn lanes, etc., in order to handle all that traffic. By splitting it up, divvy the traffic in half. So that saves a bunch of money. The other part is just having pedestrians and cyclists be able to go walk right down to the port property safely, a lot safer than they can today going through those signalized intersections.
If I might, the other big issue was we did not want to create a situation where you had to leave Washougal to go to Washougal.
Apparently the zip line wasn't adequate. So.
Well, thank you, that was a good explanation. I understand that now.
Okay. Well, thank you both very much.
So we'd be glad to come back based on your schedule as we get to construction, or we'd be glad to communicate in whatever fashion you want us to communicate as we move forward and start to impact the different movements as we go through different phases. As we have to close certain, in order to put girders up, we have to close certain roads. So be glad to communicate through your newsletters or however Trevor and the rest of you want us to communicate. And you just let us know when you want us back, and we'll be glad to come back.
That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris. Yep, thank you.
Okay, next we've got a couple of presentations, one from the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society, and then one from the school district as well. Kimberly. Yes.
I want everybody to know that I'm going to sit and listen to this presentation, but my girlfriend works for the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society. So at the time that it comes before discussion at the council, I will recuse myself, and at the same time I would ask this council that when it comes up as a budget item, that we separate that piece out so that I can participate in the rest of the budget.
And while we're at it, let me just mention, I have an 8:30 in Portland, so I need to leave at 8.
You're on.
Thank you. Christy's going to control the slide PowerPoint.
Okay.
My name is Kimberly McCovey, and I'm the president of the board of the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society. And this is Christy Stevens. She's our dog kennel manager. And we prepared a brief PowerPoint presentation just to kind of introduce our organization to you in case you're not familiar with it. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization that began in 1994 as a project in someone's garage cat. And since then, we've come a long way, and we've got a long way to go. But briefly, our mission is to end euthanasia, basically unnecessary euthanasia of all healthy or treatable companion animals, and to find them loving homes. This is just a little bit of background on our hours and service to the public. We're open 7 days a week. The dog shelter's open from 9 to 12. We were fortunate enough to have it in our budget to have a new cat shelter manager, and she's there 4 days a week for 4 hours of time. And they're both part-time, actually 3 part-time employees. We also have a board of directors that meets once a month, and we're not compensated. And then a nice volunteer base of about 287 that are registered with 80 to 100 active at any given time. These are some of our programs that help us run the organization smoothly. You can see up there that there's adoptions. That's a given with any humane society. You want to have the animals that come in get adopted out and find loving homes. We have spay and neuter assistance, TNR stands for Trap, Neuter, Return, and that's where we take feral cats from the community that are a nuisance. We trap them, take them into a vet, neuter or spay them, and then return them. And the reason we don't do like we did in the past, not the West Columbia Gorge, but traditional shelters, and we don't euthanize them, is because Stanford University found that it's actually a little bit better if you return them to the wild and they die out through natural attrition. So, because if you were to trap, neuter, or I guess trap and euthanize, what they found, what Stanford found, and some other universities found, is that other colonies will then take their place. And then you have the problem again and again. So, by using this TNR program, they do die out through natural attrition and the problem is solved. Our volunteer program, I think, is probably the most vital to our organization. Foster care is something we utilize to take in more animals because we're a really small shelter, and so when our doors are full, or our kennels and our cat areas are full, we use those homes, and volunteers and the public then take in litters of kittens. Some foster care homes take in animals that had medical care, so they can't be in the shelter with other dogs and cats. Of course, public education and outreach is a big one for humane education. You can never have enough humane education. I was talking to a principal in Camas, and she said she couldn't believe, the things that kids could come up with, and so she's big on the humane education thing as well. And then pet retention, behavioral assistance. If people call in, they say, I just can't manage my dog. What do? I want to surrender my dog. We take those phone calls and we give them suggestions, we give them guidance. We have some trainers that will work with them, if need be, to help them keep their animals. And then, of course, fundraising, which is a big component of what we do. Chrissy wants to talk a little bit about our partnerships with the community.
Only because I do a lot of the work with them. The partnerships that we have with Washougal and Camas high schools and middle schools, they come to us and they do a lot of their senior projects and middle school projects. They do a lot of fundraisers for us, food drives, and they have to create reports and go back and give them for be able to graduate. Portland State University, we partner with them. They have a grant writing class that enables us to apply for a lot more grants. The Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, they do a lot of projects with us too. ARC, Treasure House, Goodwill, PIC, Partners in Careers, they all have been able to give us volunteers that we have been able to utilize, and some really good people that have come out of that. Treasure House, we take them food if they need it for dogs and cats, and then PetSmart and Petco is through our adoptions. We have adoption centers in both of those, and they also help us with funds. The feral trap program that she was talking about, the TNR, that basically, she said it in a nutshell, because of the amount of cats that are out there. We've gotten calls from so many people in the community that have cats that are just being left behind, and we have a lot of rural areas where they are just getting dumped right and left out there, so that keeps us very busy. The pet retention program is basically once cats or dogs are adopted, we follow up for a year to make sure that it's working out if they have any questions. The care for impounded dogs, so that they get fed, they get watered, they're taken care of. If they're hurt, they get medicated, they get taken to a vet type of thing. And returning stray animals to their owners, we really try hard to make sure they get back to their owner instead of us having to take them in after their wait period. Putting ads in the paper, on Craigslist, anywhere that we can think of, adopt a